I want to tell a little story. When I was an undergraduate, I witnessed a hate crime just right off of my campus. A young man was assaulted because he was Muslim. He was wearing a skull cap, and it was really, really life-changing experience. He kept saying over and over again as we waited for the ambulance, "They told me to go home. Where do they want me to go? I'm from Bellevue. They told me to go home. Where do they want me to go? I'm from Bellevue." And that changed everything for me. I serve as the president of the Interfaith Council of Spokane. I worked with the Parliament of World Religions as an ambassador, where we took a delegation of the Inland Northwest, the second largest in the world, down to Salt Lake City this past fall. And we took Parliament by storm. It was amazing to see not only so many different faith traditions come through, but also everywhere I went there was someone from Spokane. And it was so neat. That shows me that we are interested in compassion. That shows me that we are on to something here in the Inland Northwest. The principle of compassion lies at the heart of religious, ethical, and spiritual traditions, calling us always to treat others as we wish to be treated ourselves. Compassion impels us to work tirelessly to alleviate the suffering of our fellow creatures, and to dethrone ourselves from the center of our world and put another there, and to honor the inviolable sanctity of every human being, treating everybody without exception with absolute justice, equity, and respect. Compassion can break down political, dogmatic, ideological, and religious boundaries. Born of our deep interdependence, compassion is essential to human relationships and a fulfilled humanity. It is the pathway to enlightenment and is indispensable to the creation of a just economy and a peaceful global community. I feel like in Spokane, with the climate that we have, with so many wonderful people that we have in this town, we're hungry for change, we're hungry for action, and this is a wonderful place to start. So what I did, and what many other groups did, in conjunction with one another, is we took 5 steps to make sure that this is happening. And frankly, it is. On February 8th, you're all invited down to City Hall to testify that this should be enshrined in our city charter. So I met with the Human Rights Commission at the city and presented several times, and they said, this is a good idea. We're going to send a letter of endorsement with you as you move along your journey. I met with faith leaders around our city, everybody from the rabbis of Spokane to the imam to different bishops in the area. Met with Bishop Wagner, and just trying to remind people that compassion is really, really important, and that's how we can find common ground. Remember, it's important to share our stories and know them. I found that our city is so diverse and has been for so long, and again, of course, this is through the Interfaith Council President lens, but I found that the very first Hindu American to be sworn in as an American citizen from India happened on our courthouse steps. It's an amazing story, and he got the Supreme Court to overturn his, really quick, it's an amazing story, A.K. Mazumdar, y'all need to go home and Google it and look him up. He was sworn in as an American citizen, and the Supreme Court struck down his citizenship because he was not Caucasian. And at the time, there were it's important for our elected officials to know about the people that they represent. And it's important to be, like I said, creative in our approach to that, always using our lives and every single moment as a teachable moment, because that's really what our legacy is, right? Gandhi said, "My life is my legacy. My life is my message." The Interfaith Council in the last 10 years has been definitely needing some revitalization. And so there's a bunch of millennials that got together and now run the board. And we did a survey about 1.5 years ago, and the survey said people want to go and visit people of different religions in their houses of worship. They just don't know how to. And the reason why they don't know how, or they haven't done it yet, is that they're afraid. And again, this is of course Spokane, because we're such compassionate people. We are afraid of offending our hosts rather than afraid of any, the reason. So we all know at some level that our neighbors are just like us. Faith Youth Corps, using grant money, we decided to put together a video series that's available online that teaches everybody in Spokane and in the world how to visit a mosque, how to visit a synagogue, how to visit a Sikh gurdwara, highlighting not only very briefly how to do that anywhere in the world, but emphasizing Spokane's culture. So you'll see some of the older pictures of Sikhs in the inland Northwest in the video about the Sikh community, which is fantastic. We can always find compassion. We can always find compassion. Be sensitive to the people that don't agree with us, but always find compassion.